Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of your new favorite pop culture podcast. I'm Devin Moore of More Sports, and as always, as you can see, there's only two of us here. Kyle couldn't be with us today, so as always, I tricked somebody to get in the passenger seat with me, and we're gonna go for a ride for about an hour 45 minutes. So I'm gonna give them the floor to introduce themselves.
Politichu. I'm a Manitoba VTuber that talks about politics and Pokemon.
Awesome, Paulachi. Thank you for coming on the show, and don't worry.
Yeah, I'm eager to replace Kyle.
Oh, you're eager to replace him?
I want his job.
You want his job?
Mhm.
I got some bad news. We have poor benefits, and the salary is not good.
That's fair.
But
But also,
that's fair.
V2 because of Pichu also doesn't have a good salary. So
Oh, great. Now Kyle's gonna go back and watch this and be like, Devin, you're fired. What? You're fired. No, we've made.
no, Kyle, you're fired. I'm in charge now.
Well, you heard her, Kyle. They took over. They changed all the passwords to Pichu VTuber 101, all caps, and they run the industry now. But no, it's funny. We do have a so an inside joke between me and him. If something does happen to one of us, and I also was sick pretty bad about like maybe a month and a half ago, and he called to check on me, and I'm sitting there dying in bed. I'm like, Kyle, I'm not gonna make it, buddy. Go on Indeed, post co-host for the podcast, post it on Indeed. Tell them we don't offer insurance. Tell them the salary's okay. And he's like, dude, you're not gonna die. I said, post it on Indeed. So we've made that joke.
That was me all week this week. I just got over bronchitis and let's just say my voice is a lot less cute when I'm hawking up a lung.
Oof. But I'm going to start with the first question here. What got you into VTubing?
Well, I was following a lot of different VTubing artists and stuff, different people, and it's so inspiring and fun, right? Like, who doesn't want to be a Pichu? Like, I know some people locally that make VTubers and people who do VTubing as well, and they're all very cool people.
Okay. So, gosh, I follow so many VTubers. What made you pick this Pokemon? I like how my brain just went blank on Pichu.
Well, it actually came down to a matter of practicality. See, Radley, a VTuber artist, made this model and made it available for free. So it was the first model I've ever downloaded just to test out, and then I got hooked on it.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly rich. So I didn't want to start VTubing with something that would be, like VTubing models are very expensive to get custom made.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're talking thousands of dollars.
Thousands.
And that's in USD. So, like, in CAD, I would be doomed.
Oh, that's so cool. Sorry, the facial expressions are just so awesome. I'm like, dude, this is about to be.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Oh.
I have a real blast with them. And so, but I absolutely wanted to be a Pokemon because Pokemon is one of my big special interests. I'm autistic, and I saw Pokemon as a child and was like, that's gonna be my thing forever. And then other people were like, oh, you'll grow out of it. And I was like, bet.
Oh my goodness. You said bet. Oh man. Don't worry, we've done so much awesome Pokemon content. We've actually interviewed some Pokemon creators, and we also just randomly talk about Pokemon. Let me ask you this. What was the first Pokemon game you played?
Well, my first game was a Pokemon Blue version.
Let's go.
But I got scammed by someone. So I was a little kid, and an older kid sold me his copy of Pokemon Blue without telling me that it was a version that had the battery died inside. The internal battery was gone, so it was a blue version that couldn't save.
Ooh.
So I just kept speed running and playing through the first two gyms over and over again.
Gosh.
But the first game I actually got to like properly play was Silver.
Nice. Yeah, on the original Game Boy Color.
That was a lot of fun. But yeah. Don't think too hard about how old that makes me.
Oh, but yeah, my older brother had because the original Pokemon came out in 95, 96, and I played Blue and Red. And what was your favorite starter in that generation?
Oh, I'm a Bulbasaur fan all the way.
Bulbasaur?
Did you know that Bulbasaur is the only... Yeah, did you know that Bulbasaur is the only starter Pokemon to have poison typing? And it's the only Gen 1 starter that starts with 2 types. The other one, like Charizard ends up getting dual typing later on, but Bulbasaur's poison type all the way through.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. See, I am see, when I first played it, I remember. So it's funny. Growing up, my mom was actually one of those moms that would play the Game Boy. She loved Bulbasaur too, but I used to be a Squirtle fan like all the way. And then my brothers were a Charmander fan. But as an adult, when I get bored and I play Sword and Shield, I'm like, let's go with the grass one. But now I have Pokemon Home, so I cheat. So I had all my first playthrough of Sword and Shield. I just put them all in Pokemon Home, and you know how Pokemon games are. I sat through that intro
Oh.
3 times in a row, 30 an hour and a half to get 3 starters. I was there for it.
Oh, man, yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah, though being able to play it later on when they actually had home compatibility is nice because I don't know what is wrong with them that they just can't let us have home working at launch. It should work at launch. They're like, oh well, we want people to play with new Pokemon or whatever, and I'm like, well, I'm paying for this game. If I have caught a nice low level shiny in another game, and then I want to move it to this title and make it my starter, I should be able to do
No,
that.
you gotta wait. I know that's like Nintendo's
It's
phone.
awful.
It's their downfall, and that's like a lot of fans are like, dude, can you put the Game Boy ones on the? I don't know if you play the Nintendo Store emulators.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you play the Game Boy Advance
Yeah,
ones.
it's ridiculous. Like, and even if they wanted to sell us the games, and repackage them, people would buy them. Like, they could straight up be like, oh, we'll put like old school red and blue on the Switch for like $20,
Yeah.
which is a crime, but they could charge $20 and people would pay for
They
it.
would. Well, that's like.
And then they complained about emulators.
Yep.
When it's like, you can't blame pirates if they're not able to buy the game.
Dude, yes, and that's another thing too. Do you remember? I think it was last year when the Mega Man Battle Network collection came out. That one got hot as soon as it came out. I actually went out and bought it on release day. And then I see streamers just bought the Yu-Gi-Oh! Days of Old collection, which was all those old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, which I'm saving up the money to get because I am a classic Yu-Gi-Oh! fan.
Yeah, and they keep doing all these remakes, and the problem is that the remakes change things. They change things on fundamental levels, like the story will change, the mechanics change, and there's no option to be able to turn those mechanics off to experience the game as it was. So, like, people need access to these older titles, but they just refuse to do it because they worry that that'll affect the sales of the remakes.
Yep. I'm gonna be honest with you, and we've said this with every Pokemon creator we've had the past year. I did not like Shiny Pearl.
Yeah. Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, it's the idea of doing like a little chibi-fied version really, really would work, but it was done so cheaply. Like, the art style just wasn't good. And it's very frustrating because we know that this kind of style of game works. Like, look at Legend of Zelda. They've done some really adorable chibi titles with like beautiful, beautiful graphics and stylization.
Yep, I agree. No, my problem with Shiny Pearl was because I'm an OG Pokemon fan. I stopped in 2010. The only reason I play them now is because my brother surprised me with a Switch, and I was like, well, I'll play Pokemon on a plane, on a car ride, whatever. Like back in the old days, all right? And so got Shiny Pearl. It was just so easy. I flowed through it within like a week. And I didn't even try to complete the Pokédex.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. With the experience share, it can be incredibly easy, and the games have just gotten easier over the years. But the thing with the remakes is that they didn't adjust the levels of the enemies based on how the experience curve would be changed. They just put the experience share onto a game and then didn't actually edit the game to match the experience share. So it's very easy to be very over-leveled.
Exactly.
If you're not constantly switching in and out your team.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I've also defended this. I don't mind XP share when there's a certain Pokemon I want to use. But then at the same time, like I said, we're that generation that, dude, I spent hours grinding. I remember trying to turn my Torchic into Blaziken. Like, we were grinding, you know?
Yeah. It's just really frustrating because like it could be something that somebody should be able to turn off if they really wanted to, like going into their menus and turning it off. But at the same time, I'm fine with it
Mhm.
if they actually make the level curve in the game adjusted to it so it still has some difficulty. Like it's too easy to cheese the game,
Mhm.
and they say, well, you could just choose not to cheese it, but there's so much effort that goes into that. Like you have to constantly be switching out team members and stuff so that your guys don't get super over leveled, or you have to be constantly like skipping fights and stuff, and that's not fun because the game is fights. That's what the game is.
Did Shiny Pearl let you skip fights? Was that the one they let you skip? No, 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 no. Legend of
Well,
Arceus was the one where you could skip if you wanted to.
uh, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is the one where you're allowed to choose whether or not you're going to
That's
fight
it.
random trainers. But in not all Pokemon games, there's been certain fights that you've been able to kind of skip by just cleverly avoiding it. It's a very common method of game design for some of their
Mhm.
routes in the older games, where you have to choose, okay, you can go this way, which will have a bunch of trader battles, or you can go through the tall grass on this side of the route and skip them.
Well, I remember those days. Trust me. When you look at your team and you're like, do I really want to go 2 routes to the Pokemon Center to heal?
Mm.
Life's hard. Going through the grass. Trust me. I remember those days where you're looking at your team and you're like, ooh, I'm a little low.
Oh,
And then you check.
especially
Mm-hmm.
back with poison
Oh
ticking
my
down.
God, yes. Every step you take and it shakes your screen. You're like, no, 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 no.
Make poison scary again. Poison hasn't been scary in the games for so long, and it's made people disrespect the poison type like nobody's business.
Really? Oh, I haven't noticed. Now that you mentioned, I haven't really noticed. I haven't played Pokemon it's been a hot minute since I played it because I'm like trying. I love Legend of Arceus. All right, and I'm excited for the sequel because it was a fresh breath of air. After playing Shiny Pearl, I was like kind of skeptical, but then watching the gameplay footage of Legend of Arceus, and I took a chance on launch day. Fresh breath of Bel Air, yeah, fresh Bel Air.
Oh, who did you choose as your
Oh, who did
starter?
I choose? Oh, you know how to go Cyndaquil all the way.
Cyndaquil! Me
I
too!
had to go Cyndaquil.
He's so baby. And honestly, Hisuian Typhlosion is probably my favorite fully evolved starter of all time.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was a
And
cool.
that's saying
I
something.
thought it was a cool idea that they made him a ghost type, and now I've got him OP, and I'm like, nice.
Yeah. Every time, oh, why can't I think of the full name? Its signature move, something something parade.
Um, yeah, I know
Um,
what you're talking about. Oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank too. Like it's been a
yeah,
minute.
spooky parade. I forget the name because I always referred to it as Welcome to the Black Parade. And every time I used it in a big fight, I'd be like, bing, 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 bing.
Oh man, yeah, I had to go Cyndaquil because, like I said, I stopped playing in 2010. I got a Switch right around the time Shiny Pearl came out, and so I took a chance on. I knew who Oshawott was because Black and White, but then I saw Cyndaquil, and I'm like, ooh, Cyndaquil. And then now with the sequel coming out, you see Chikorita, Totodile, and then they're like, T-Pick, here you go. And I just love the memes because everybody's like, where's Cyndaquil? Meanwhile, Cyndaquil's in the past. He's like, help
yeah,
me!
yeah. Cyndaquil got by Arceus. Arceus. Ugh, I can't get over the fact that they've decided to announce decades, like not decades, but like forever after they released like the name
Mm-hmm.
of the Pokemon, they actually told us how it's pronounced. After the community's been calling it Arceus this entire time, and then they're like, no, it's Arceus now. Change your
I don't
ways.
wanna.
And so I have to like
Well,
Arceus.
the
Um,
movie's on Hulu, and every time I look at it, I'm like, because I watched it years ago when it came out, when Diamond and Pearl was on Cartoon Network, and the movie came on, and it's been years since I've watched it, so they're on. Some of them are on Hulu, and I'm like, not today, because I'm like hyper focused on other stuff. I'm like, not today. God.
mm, I am really excited for like I know a lot of people are thrown off by the fact that there's two Johto starters, and like I get that. I get that it's kind of weird that like Tepig's the odd one out, but God, I love that they are being very straightforward about the fact that these games are their opportunities to buff
Hmm.
starters that really need it. And oh boy, do the Johto starters need buffs.
Really?
They were intentionally made worse when they were released because they noticed players would use their starter Pokemon all the way through the games in Red and
Hmm.
Blue. And so they were like, well, we should make it so that, the starters are less good, to try and encourage maybe different ways of play, or maybe just to, keep it balanced so people don't just cheese through the game with a level 100 Charizard, right? But makes the Johto starters really weak. So they've always been really underpowered, and it's really nice seeing that they're going to be getting some juice.
Well, I just like Totodile. I've always was a Tot. I remember when that gen came out. I always like, and I do crap on Chikorita, but I was always a Totodile fan. I know. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna give I honestly, I think for my first playthrough, I'm tired of seeing people on the internet talk crap about Chikorita. Because I'm like, I think for my first playthrough, I'm gonna get Chikorita.
Yeah, it's the thing with Chikorita hate is that it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people going like, oh well, I just don't like it for because it's not good mechanically, and now that it's going to get a buff, I hope that people eat their words, because a lot of the time it's not that they hate it because it's not good mechanically. The thing about Chikorita is that it was an underpowered starter in a generation in which the grass starter was just the worst choice in terms of like what gyms you go up against in like a regular playthrough. Like the grass starter was just always going to be the worst. But the real thing is that so many people are just like, oh, it has the word chick in it. Oh, it was characterized as being really girly. It's got, ugh.
Poor Chikorita. Chikorita just wants some love.
Poor Chikorita. She's the original girl boss.
God, oh god, especially in the anime.
So I hope she. Oh yeah.
Oh, poor Chikorita.
Yeah, she knew what she was about.
She knew what she was about. Oh man.
Yeah, you gotta respect a girl for knowing what she's about.
See, I don't know, because the more I think about it, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do Chikorita, but then I like Totodile. But here's the thing: I remember the first time I played Black and White, T-Pig was my first starter because his third evolve form's pretty good. I don't know if you remember playing Black and White.
Yeah. Want to know a little bit of Tepig trivia?
Sure, why not?
The Tepig line is actually considered like the best choice for doing like a Black and White playthrough in terms of just like which elemental typing is the most handy to have. But it's actually considered the worst. It's considered a bad choice for Black and White speed runs, because there's a mechanic in those games that makes your animation change when you send out a Pokemon based on its weight, and that makes it slow. So if you have a very, very heavy Pokemon like Emboar, it slows down the animation, and that slows down your blah 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 blah. Your speed run.
Yeah.
Sorry, my brain turns off sometimes, just mid sentence.
Oh, it's okay. Listen, when we do here on the show, when we write full scripts, details, sometimes, and we write them, and sometimes we'll be sitting there recording, we're like, blah 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 da da da. Words are hard, and we wrote these words. Don't trust me. Don't worry. This show.
I'm just impressed I haven't cussed yet.
Oh really? Oh yeah, I should have told you. Yeah, you can cuss. We cuss like sailors. We cuss like sailors.
Oh, in my bloopers, it's just 90%. I did a blooper special for when I hit 10K. It was supposed to be my 5K special, but then people kept following me, and it was so much all at once. And so I released the blooper special, and it's like 90% of me going, fuck. I cuss like a sailor, but I try to keep it as clean as I can with my videos, because I know that even though my stuff is very clearly like not for a young audience, because I'm talking about things like the trade wars and things like World War II trivia and whatnot, or like I'm talking about politics, but I'm also adorable, so I try to cut down on the cussing, but it's hard to keep myself from doing it when I'm recording and I'm just trying to say words right. Like I'll just be trying to say Volodymyr Zelensky, and I'll just be like, fuck. Oh, I'm so wheezy today.
I know the pollen down here's kicking my butt.
Let me get a hit of my puffer.
Go ahead.
I've always had very weak lungs. But it's just gotten worse over the years, so I have to dual wield puffers now.
Really?
It's part of why I decided to be a VTuber. I wanted to be able to talk about politics and try to make a change in that way and inform people that otherwise wouldn't be informed because politics are scary and awful and hard to digest.
Right.
So I decided to do it in a fun way with Pokemon.
Right.
Uh,
And that's what made
because
us
I,
come across you. I came across you on my For You page, and I was like, "Ooh, what we got going on here?" And I do like your take on it because I'm like, "Ooh, what is this?" So it's been pretty interesting.
I like to call myself Subway Surfers for millennials. I got you.
See, and the sad part is, I know our audience is gonna get that because some people are gonna be like, "They're not playing Subway Surfer." What do you mean they're playing Subway Surfer?
I hold people's attention span by being like, look, here's a gif of a Psyduck.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I wanted to do this as Politichu because I can't really be more active in the community and like go to as many like marches as I'd like to and protests and be more engaged in the community because it's very hard for me to go out and do these things with my lungs as they are.
Mm.
Especially in winter here in Manitoba. It's so cold and that messes up your lungs real bad.
Mm. Oh man.
Yeah. But it does mean I get out of the job of shoveling the walk, so
Oh yeah, shoveling the snow.
that's a roommate problem.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, because I just end up having a big asthma attack if I like try to shovel it. The air is just so cold, which really makes you wonder how I played hockey for most of my life.
Oh yeah, hockey is big.
Because I am that stereotype.
Really? So, see, growing up here in the South, like we used to have the Atlanta Thrashers, and that's all we have. And you know what's crazy is we have the closest NHL team to me here is Tampa, the Tampa Lightning, and then we have the Nashville Predators. But growing up, hockey was not really a thing here, besides the pro team.
Yeah, hockey's always been just an integral part of life here. it's just what we do. Like it's when I was in elementary school, we even had we would have hockey and stuff in class, like doing like what's it called? Like street hockey? Not street hockey because it wasn't
Field
in the
hockey?
street. Hockey that wasn't on ice.
Oh yeah, field hockey.
And I guess but it was more like hockey, but like in a gymnasium. But like during the winters and stuff, we would actually do ice skating and real hockey. We would have ice skating lessons as part of gym.
Really?
As part of gym. Yep.
Yeah, we're not doing
Yeah,
that.
it was a lot of fun.
We're not doing it down
My
here.
gym teacher actually used to do figure skating, and it was always fun watching her just whoosh.
Oh, that's cool. See.
Yeah. But yeah, I played so much hockey growing up, and we didn't have the Jets for years and years, and then getting them back, the city was feral. Actually, when they announced the Jets coming back, like everyone knew it was happening, but when they did the actual announcement, people flooded the streets and filled up Portage in Maine, which is like the biggest intersection in the city. So just people shut down the biggest major intersection in the city and just partied and played street hockey. And don't worry about how I know that the street hockey was played with beer cans.
Oh man, that's awesome. See, that's awesome. See, growing up down here, it was always, which down here for us in the South, what's one sport that made a big comeback was soccer. Especially now, soccer has made just a big thing. Like, if you ever get a chance to come to Orlando, Florida, Atlanta United game, like the culture is so big. That's what I've just noticed living in the southern region. But hockey, yeah, no, it ain't happening.
Yeah, it's a shame because there's something that hits when you're out on the ice and you're just going faster than you could ever do just running, and you're just I go feral. My lungs terrible. I would every time I'd get back on the bench, I'd be wheezing and coughing and dying. But then I'd be like, "Put me back in, coach. I want that."
Oh, that's great. So what I'm hearing is Mighty Ducks was probably also another favorite movie.
Not especially. Sports movies have never really been a big thing for me. Sports anime, however, love sports anime.
Oh yeah, what's your go-to sports anime?
They get it right.
What's your favorite one?
I really love an older one, Prince of Tennis. It's like a huge deal, and then like people don't realize how big of a deal it is, and like new anime fans don't really go back and watch older sports anime, and I highly recommend it. It is defining of the genre and has some of the best filler episodes I've ever seen a show ever do.
Really?
All of their fillers, all the filler episodes are them just doing other sports. Where it's like, okay, here's all these tennis guys. Okay, here's the bowling episode. Here's the beach volleyball episode, and it's them trying out different sports and trying to use like their weird anime like tennis techniques, but like but with other sports, and it's very silly.
Nice. I know what you're talking about. I've never
It
watched it.
yeah, I love Pootie Tenny. Um, I love Haikyuu, and I
That's the
love
volleyball
like
one.
basically if it's a sports anime, I'm into it.
See, I've tried to watch the
I absorb so much anime.
oh gosh, that's actually one of my questions. The next following up question is, what was besides Pokemon? What was another favorite anime of yours?
Ooh. I'm really a fan of a genre that I made up myself, which is called autistic woman isekai.
Go on.
It's a very specific subset of isekai. Because with a lot of isekai shows, like travel to another world shows, it's a lot of like, I was a dude who was a loser, but now I got isekai'd into this other world where I have a broken skill and I'm jacked, and that's the power fantasy. But autistic woman isekai is like, it's a woman who had a niche interest, and that interest was not valued. But then she got isekai'd into another world, and just by pursuing her interest, she changes the world around her. And it's the power fantasy of having your special interest like appreciated.
Nice. I like it.
Like if I got isekai'd into Pokemon, finally my Pokemon knowledge would be useful. So one of my favorite shows is Ascendance of a Bookworm, where it's just about a girl who loves books and like being a librarian. Then she gets isekai'd into a world where books and reading aren't actually common things. And she's like, well, I have to change that. I have to revolutionize the world. I have to invent the printing press just so that I can read books. Like, she's not trying to, be a main character. She just wants to read her books.
Wow. I'll have to look into that. See, I'm glad somebody feels the same way about the isekai genre like I do, because I'm just like, okay, dude was quote unquote loser, and then he got ran over, and now he's OP'd. I get it. Hooray. Same old, same old.
Yeah. I'm sure that power fantasy is great for people who are losers, but for winners like me, I need something more.
Oh, man. See, if I was stuck in a... So, you know what? If I was stuck in an Isekai world of Pokemon, I'm going to be honest with you. I could only do Johto. Yeah, the Johto region. If I was in the Johto region, I'd be okay. It's the newer regions that I'd be screwed in, because I'm like, I don't know where I am. I don't know what this Pokemon is. What do I do? I'll be screaming, I need an adult. I need an adult. Sir, you are an adult. I need an older one. Where's Professor Oak? Yeah, he's like across the world. What do you mean he's across the world? Give me Professor Oak. Don't give me some other professor. Give me Professor Oak.
If you were in Alola, you could get Oak's cousin.
You know, I did recently finish the first season of that. The Pokemon Sun and Moon, just to see. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't care for it. And his cousin threw me off.
Really?
The Pokemon are cool. Go ahead.
I appreciated Sun and Moon. I'm sure it must be odd coming into it after a lot of like time away, but it's so refreshing in terms of like being more of a slice of life version of the show. Like, they were really experimenting with what the Pokemon show could be there, and it was sometimes nice just to have a chill episode that wasn't just Ash throwing down 24/7, right? Like, that's why I'm so glad that they finally retired Ash as a character, and that they've moved on to new main characters and new stories, and that they're making more shows that are different. Like, they're straight up making a movie that's just about somebody wanting to deliver a letter with a mailman Dragonite, and that's so cute.
Oh yeah, I just saw, like, I keep up with all the Pokemon news. I try to. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I haven't watched it yet. It's on Netflix. It was it was
Pokemon Concierge.
Yes, on Netflix. Where's the resort?
If you're ever having like a really down day, like you're just deeply sad, sit down and watch that. It is the Japanese genre of there's a genre particular to them that's it's called healing, like the translation is like it's a healing genre where it's just a show made to make you just feel better. It's so lovely. It's cute and sweet and chill.
Okay. And this is gonna sound crazy. So I told myself, being an OG Pokemon fan, I was like, okay, I want to watch Ash's Journey. So that's why I'm jumping around. I finished the first season of Indigo League, and I finished Sun and Moon, and then I was like, oh, let me watch Pokemon Horizon. It threw me off so bad. But I do like the animation style is so much better.
Yeah. And the plotting, I do think it's really funny though that the right off the bat I'm like, oh, wait a second, did you take this plot from Castle in the Sky? Like they like, oh, there's an airship and there's also a girl with a magic amulet that glows, and it's tied into stuff to do with the people at the airship. Like I'm like, oh, wait a second, this is Castle in the Sky. But hey, if anything's gonna like remind me of something, if it reminds me of a Ghibli movie, it's doing pretty good.
Really? Gosh.
Ghibli movies are the best.
Yeah, we're actually for the people at home, get ready for 2026 for Popcorn Buckets. We're going through the Ghibli movies. I just watched the Princess Mosuke, the Queen Wolf.
Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, thank you, Princess Mononoke. I just watched it last night. Kyle watched it like 3 times in a row. He's like, "You ready to record it?" I was like, "Rewatch it," because I got a little lost. But I finished it last night, and I was like, "Whew, okay, I'm not lost anymore."
Yeah, it has a lot of deep themes.
Oh, it does. That's why I got lost the first time.
I've had to be hospitalized a couple times, and whenever I do, anytime I like come out of surgery or anything, I always have at the ready my favorite Ghibli movie of all time, and my favorite movie of all time, Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh yes, the one where she's got the black cat. See, I remember watching. I mean, because of our age, right? I remember watching them on Adult Swim, or they were in TV. For the young viewers at home, we used to have to wait for our new shows to come on every week, and during the weekend on TV, on Antenna TV, Studio Ghibli would just be on a random Sunday or Saturday at 1 p.m. on a local news station, or for after school.
I have to recommend, if you're ever loopy on pain meds, watching a Ghibli movie hits.
Oh, it hits?
Oh, it hits. You're just sitting there and you're able to feel your feelings and be like, oh, this is a movie about going through depression and anxiety and like how it changes you, and even though you can work through it and you can still continue to have a great life, it forever changes you and you just have to deal with it.
Nice. I know.
It's so intense.
Oh gosh, there's another one. It was the other famous one, Princess Monosuke. The
Princess Mononoke.
Thank you. See, this is
Spirited Away.
Spirited Away. Yeah. Yep. Spirited Away. That's another one that's been referenced so many times in pop culture.
It is absolutely amazing. My favorite thing ever is, and this might affect you, to know the voice actor who plays Haku also voices Tino Tonatini from The Weekenders. If you remember The Weekenders, so anytime Haku talks when I'm watching the movie, I'm always like, "Oh, hi, Tino Tonatini."
Isn't that crazy how voice?
When I realized it was him, I was like, "Oh, my crush on Haku is gone. You're Tino Tonatini now."
Oh man, that's great. So since you do political stuff and historical stuff, what is your favorite war to study?
One time I asked someone. I asked someone, like who was like, oh, I like studying like wars and stuff, and I was like, oh, what's your favorite war? And they were like, no one has a favorite war, and I was like, oh fuck, no, I've ruined this like, oh no. But for me, World War I is really interesting because Canadians kind of went ham. Same with World War II, but World War I and World War II, the Canada's why the Geneva suggestions exist in a lot of ways.
Really?
Like, oh yeah. I've referenced it actually in one of my videos that one really interesting thing. Canadians would, when fighting the Germans in, I think this was World War II, fighting the Germans, they tossed over cans of food for the Germans, and it was lovely. You know, like here's some canned corned beef for you guys. You know, just being nice. And then when the Germans asked for more food, the Canadians threw over grenades.
What?
Yep. So the Germans were like, "Yay!" and holding up their arms, ready to catch some food. Yeah. Oh, there's another really cool war crime that isn't a war crime. That's my favorite war
Go ahead.
crime. And that was actually down in the this wasn't Canada, but down in the like the southern part of the World War II campaigns, down in like Africa and stuff. They had the British Army went around and labeled all of these wells Achtung poison,
Ooh.
which means like beware poison. These wells have been poisoned. And then after the war, the Germans were like, hey, these guys should be in trouble for doing a war crime because they poisoned all those wells. And they said, no, we didn't commit a war crime. It's not a war crime to put up a sign that says poisoned well on a well that isn't poisoned. So the Germans would read it and go, crud, I can't drink this water. It's poisoned. And everyone else who can't read German was like, glug, glug, glug.
Oh, man. Well, continuing on the historical train, my next question is, if you could sit down with any political leader from past or present, who would you sit down with? Just a nice dinner conversation that you could have with them.
Oh, see, past or present gives me some very funny options.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mostly because I would love to cuss out Reagan. I would love to cuss out Reagan, but for everything.
Right.
But there's other there's all kinds of leaders throughout history. I'd also like to cuss out John A. Macdonald.
Oof.
Fuck that guy.
Oof.
He was the first prime minister of Canada, and he was also the one who invented the residential school system, which locked up, took away Indigenous children from their families and tried to remove their culture and destroy their culture, and also resulted in tons of them being killed and abused. So fuck that guy. I'd love to cuss him out. But if I was going to have a nice conversation, I'd love to meet my own premier, Rob Canoe.
Okay.
He's the premier of Manitoba and a member of the NDP. They're the one of the most leftmost parties in Canada. They don't really have much sway on the prime minister level. Like, they've never managed to gain a prime minister. But on the provincial level, they make great differences when they get into power. And he's been really improving things. And all the other provinces are jealous.
They're jealous. Oh, that's so cool. Sorry, I've just been fascinated with your model, because when you said so jealous, like Pikachu, not Pikachu. It did like the whole, like, when Pikachu is like doing something mischievous, he's like, aha, your model just did. Yeah, there we go. Dude,
yeah.
See, I'm just having fun watching these facial expressions today.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love to cuss out John A. Macdonald.
See, that's so cool. So we know that you're not really a streamer VTuber, but if you had to stream any game series, what's your first choice?
Well, besides the obvious, I'd like to start streaming. I started the process of, basically, the big problem is that my computer setup is currently in a shared space. So I've been having to work through the process of moving my computer stuff into my room, which means completely rearranging the whole thing, which has been hard while I've been sick. So I'm working on streaming. It's gonna be a while.
Right.
But if I were to stream any game series that wasn't, the obvious of Pokemon, there's so many good options. I think it'd be really funny if I did Wolfenstein. But oh gosh. I really like the Tales series. I think they're really fun. I don't know how much fun they are for streaming because they're just like a big old JRPG, but I love that. I really like Final Fantasy, but mostly Final Fantasy 9. So it'd just be me playing Final Fantasy 9 over and over again.
See, if Kyle was here, he'd be like, right now I'm trying to play. He bought the and just like we said at the beginning of this episode, he bought the Final Fantasy collection, which I think had 1 through 9. So he's literally at the boss level of 1. And my wife can play old school RPGs like that. And so we came to his house for the holidays, and she was like, "Give me the controller," and we spent hours trying to beat that boss. Still can't beat him, and he's like, "Devin, I can't beat him."
Oh,
I'm like, "Dude, do what I do." And I'm one of those people. My problem with video games and series, like, yes, I want to know the overall story, but sometimes I hate the tutorial because, like, as soon as I beat the first one, I'm
uh,
going straight into the second one, and I'm like, dude, the mechanics haven't really changed that much. So sometimes I hop around just to get through the tutorial, and he's like, I'm like, dude, just hop on the second one, get past the tutorial, and then come back. He's like, no, I will beat it, and then I'll do the second one. I'm like, okay, good luck. He still hasn't beaten it to this day.
yeah. Yeah, I really love a good JRPG. I love any sort of RPG. I like words. My brain, of course, the second I'm asked like, "Oh, what games would you want to play?" I immediately forget every video game I've ever played forever. Oh, Dragon Age.
Oh,
I
yep.
would love to stream the Dragon Age
You know,
games. I'm
we
obsessed with them, and I will never ever 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 forgive EA for what it's done to the series. Oh,
really.
Veilguard wasn't even that bad considering it was made. So they basically fired everybody who worked on Dragon Age and said, "Oh, we're only focusing on Mass Effect from here on out." Because Veilguard didn't sell like
Mm,
gangbusters, and it's so frustrating
mm,
because it was originally made to be like a live service game because they were like, "Oh yeah, we want to make every game a live
mm.
service." And so the Dragon Age team had to like completely rework it mid development,
Oh,
and so like of course it's not going to be the biggest selling game ever because it's being held back by these things that you did to
mm.
it. And then EA is like, it didn't make a million bajillion dollars, so we're gonna fire everybody involved, and I will never forgive them.
You know, it's funny you said on our YouTube channel last year. I played through the first one, just trying to experiment with streaming and recording game footage. And I said, Kyle, hey, I played Dragon Age 1 for a little bit, and I want you to do killer commentary. And he just yelled, Devin, why did you name this character Doofenshmirtz? Devin, Devin, do a barrel roll. Devin, why are you not doing a barrel roll? Oh, he's dead. Oh, he's dead again. Devin, you've died like 5 times in a row. This would solve your it's on our YouTube channel. I'll have
did
to send it to you when we get done recording.
did you name your Mabari Perry? Perry the Mabari?
I did not, no. I'm sorry.
Oh, if you're Doofenshmirtz, you gotta commit to the bit.
Well, I was trying to experiment. We're trying to do a gameplay channel, which we take on so many projects, so the game stuff's been kinda in the back burner, but when I was experimenting how to do, like you said, kinda like you, like, how do I experiment with streaming stuff? And I was just being silly, and I was like, I had this idea. I was like, "Kyle, I have this idea for video for the YouTube channel," and I was like, "What's a silly name?" And I really enjoy Dan Popschmeyer on TikTok because, like, I just love his TikToks when he goes to the parks, when he shares the studio stuff. You know, he's just a generally funny guy. And I was like, Doofenshmirtz. And every time I see the meme with the bass guitar, it's like, oh, bass guitar. Perry the bass guitar. Like, I can't help it. Like, every time I see a platypus, I'm just like, oh, a platypus. And then I just see a little hat. I'm like, Perry the platypus.
If you put a hat on anything, you're like Perry the blank. It's good every time.
Oh, Lord, you're gonna put a little hat on Pichu, aren't you? And I'm gonna be like, oh, it's Pichu. Perry the Pichu.
Well, I got a mustache.
Oh, it's not.
If that helps.
It's not the same.
I just have to let me get the technology. Go into hat mode.
Oh,
Let me activate hat mode. You can see a little behind the scenes here. I can go through my little collection of thingamajigs,
oh,
and these are all just free ones that came with the game.
uh,
With the game being VTube Studio.
uh.
Here's a hat.
Oh yeah, like the color.
Put it on my head, and if I click it just right, it should. There we go. Now it's on my head.
Oh,
Now I have a hat.
awesome. Perry the Pichu. uh, oh, that's so cool. That's like this has been pretty cool. But yeah, so that's why I did it. And I haven't played the second one because with EA Game Pass, I was able to get all of them on my console. And I've even played the and it's funny that we were talking about Mass Effect and have you played the it's technically the fourth one. Oh gosh, Armageddon. Have you played that one any?
Fourth Armageddon. Well, sorry, what was what?
Mass Effect Armageddon. It's like the fourth one.
Oh, heard of Armageddon. Do you mean Andromeda?
Oh, is that how you pronounce it?
Mass Effect Andromeda. It's named after the Andromeda Galaxy, which is where it takes place.
Oh, dyslexia. Dyslexia is a bitch for me. I've been calling it Armageddon this whole time.
Oh dear.
I'm over here like, yeah, I'm gonna play Mass Effect Armageddon.
I mean, in a lot of eyes of a lot of fans, it was Armageddon. Oh no, wrong face. the graphics were everything was buggy, so buggy.
Okay, so it's not my console being old.
It wasn't. Yeah, no, the game came out like really, really broken, and even after all the patches, it's still really janky. But at launch, oh, it was
bad.
It was rough. I remember getting it, and me and my friend who had gone through all of the series before, in like preparation for it, we sat down to play it, and like he just couldn't do it. He just was like, I can't keep playing. This upsets me too much.
God.
Whereas, because I had less skin in the game, I guess I was like, it's buggy, but that might just be me being a Pokemon player, you know? Like, I've played over 1,000 hours of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and it sucks. Like, it sucks in so many ways.
Well, you know, and dude, we've talked to every Pokemon creator actually in the past year about Pokemon Violet and Scarlet, and that's actually one of my follow-up questions, and we can talk about it. And here's my problem. I have it, good concept. Like, it feels like a good open world, but it's so laggy.
Yeah. Do you know why?
They rushed it.
Oh, not just that they rushed it. They made so many like ridiculous decisions when programming it. See, you know how there's an ocean?
Yep.
Okay, so there's an ocean all around Paldea.
Yep.
And the thing is that when you
if you're thinking what I'm thinking you're thinking, I probably ran across it, but go ahead.
Not only is that ocean rendered at all times, no matter where you are, that ocean is always running and rendered, and it's always happening. They don't have it, like pop in like everything else in the game. It is rendered at all times, and also the box goes on forever. Like, it is like if Paldea is like a speck on the map is like huge, and it's just all ocean that's all rendered and all animated. Like, they don't have it so that, the ocean only goes out so far and then it's a JPEG. No. It's all ocean, and it's all rendered, and it's always animating all the time. It's so bad.
Jeez. See, my thing is, it was just the rendering to me. But even though I haven't beaten it yet, because I'm honestly like, besides that, I don't know what it is. I like being in school. I like the story. Well, the story's a little dumbed down, but I mean, it's. I just like how they did it right. Open world. You're on a treasure hunt or whatever, right? But you have three. You got 3 quests, which I haven't beaten the game yet, and that says something, right? Shocker, I haven't beaten the game yet. But I like that you're with your legendary. You have your gym battles, and then the third one was you fight Team Star. Or the way I view them, I'm like Kid Team Rocket, because I'm like, I miss Team Rocket.
Yeah, sometimes like the thing is that Team Rocket is straightforward, and it has so much that they can do with it, but they just kind of refuse to. I think because Jesse and James just made Team Rocket too silly for so many people that they're like, oh no, it's too silly. But like, Team Rocket is just capitalism and mobsters. Like, that's straightforward. That's straightforward bad guys that you can go and fight and defeat. They don't need a big, I'm gonna destroy the world plan. They just need to be like, I want to exploit Pokemon to make money, and that's enough, right?
Well, Team Galactica was like that, and I like Team Galactica too. Yeah, Galactica was in Diamond and Pearl.
I mean, Team Galactic wasn't quite like that. Their end goal was to basically destroy the world and then make a new world in which no one had any emotions.
Oof.
Yeah. Which is just so much.
And I haven't played that much of Sword yet. I might get 4 badges, but the bad guys in Sword, they're like, we're cheering on for our fan. And I'm like, dude, really, Pokemon? The bad guys are just fans?
Well, they were the... Pokemon keeps doing this thing where they do fake out villains. Like, every villain is a twist villain, and thus all villains are like not even a good twist. Or not even a good villain, because they don't get enough time in the sun to shine as a villain. this is the same thing with Disney. Like it's all twists and it sucks every time. So like Team Yell, they're like, yay, we're cheering on Marnie. Oh, are we the villain team? No, we're not. The villain is the obvious guy with the villain facial hair, who's the chairman.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Spoilers for an old game. Sorry.
He is?
But like, yeah, it's the worst plot any Pokemon game has ever had. Sword and Shield like lives in my mind rent free because it's fascinating that it very clearly has like so much potential as a story and has all the pieces and building blocks in order to make a really good compelling story, but then it feels like someone made an executive decision that screwed over the what am I even saying? They fucked over the people who were putting their hearts and souls into the game. Like for example, why does the champion Leon, who's portrayed as being the unbeatable champion, he's never lost, which, you know, is totally suspicious. He's never lost, and he wears a royal cape, like a royal style cape covered in like sponsor logos, and then that's not at all relevant to the story. Like, that doesn't reflect his character. You don't put a cape on someone, like a royal style cape on someone, and then say that they're just like a well-adjusted nice guy. Like, that's not good character design.
How was he in the anime?
Like, and they have all these sponsorship logos and stuff, but then they don't actually have any sort of criticism of like what that represents and how that would affect, like, that this region is one in which Pokemon battles are sponsored, you know? Like, that should be, like, that's really compelling. That's really interesting. And then they're like, no, actually, the big bad guy is a guy who really wants to help the nation, but he actually is just impatient.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he summons this big evil. He summons this big evil because it's going to cause this big thing that's going to refresh all the energy that they would have run out of in 1,000 years. So it's not even a problem. It's not even a problem yet. They have 1,000 years to solve this problem, but he's like, actually, I want to do it right now for no reason.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I came across the energy problem.
That's the, like, it makes no sense. Like, they don't let Chairman Rose be actually evil. They don't let Leon be evil. They don't let anyone, like, everyone's just stupid. And they have Leon solve all the problems along the plot. Like, it's very clear that the game was rushed, and so they had to cut out like story beats that you were supposed to deal with, where they have it so it's like, oh, there's a big like giant Pokemon and it's rampaging in a city, and you're like, oh my gosh, something's happening. I better go run towards the plot. And then Leon says, nope, I'm gonna go do it, and then he does it. You don't even get to play your own plot.
Really?
You're not even the main character. Yeah.
Oh.
Like, and this happens multiple times in the story. So it's like, why tell me about these things that are happening if you're not letting me do anything about it?
Wow. Okay.
It's bonkers.
The last time I played it, I just beat not the fire gym, the older lady. The gym challenges were cool to me, but I didn't like her gym challenge where you were like, oh no, it's the older lady. God, it took me.
Opal?
Yeah, that was the last time I played it. I just got her badge. That's as far as I'm in the story. Because I just came across the energy crisis, and I'm like, cool, okay. Because I like it. I like Sword and Shield, because Scarlet, I was like, ooh, the bad frame rate. But I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to a classic Pokemon game. But I love Legend of Arceus. I'm going to 100 complete that Pokédex.
Yeah. I am almost done 100% completing that Pokédex.
Are you?
As in, like, doing every single check mark. Every single check.
Are you? I'm trying.
I am. It's the thing is that the power of raw autism was born to fill in boxes. Like, you give me 100 little tasks, I'm thrilled. I'll do that forever. I'll put on like a YouTube video essay on my phone, and I got Arceus on the TV, and I can just fill in those dex entries while shiny hunting in the game, and filling in the dex entries actually makes it so that your shiny hunting goes better. So it's like an addictive cycle.
Golly.
I have so many shinies as a result. I have caught...
That was actually going to be my next question. Actually, what's your favorite shiny?
My favorite shiny of all time? Oh, that's so hard. Well, my first shiny ever was a shiny Psyduck that I named Gladstone.
Flagstone?
after
Oh,
Gladstone.
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 Okay.
After Gladstone Gander from the Duck comics, from the Donald Duck comics. He's Donald's cousin who is like insanely lucky. Like magically, he is the luckiest person on Earth.
Mm.
He's supernaturally lucky. So I thought that was a good name for my very first shiny that was a duck. Even though Gander is goose, but but probably my favorite shiny is. Can I have a second?
Yes, you can.
Let me think. I have actually a list of my dream shinies. I have them on my phone. I just have to.
Are you looking at your phone?
Get my
Dude, that's so.
files.
I'm sorry. Like, I guess because your head's tilted down, your VTuber or your V model's also pointing down.
Yeah.
That is. I'm just so fascinated by the model today. I'm like, this is so cool to me because I'm like, ooh, it's catching everything. That is so cool.
You know what? I'm gonna say it.
Oh, go ahead.
I think my favorite shiny of all time is Golurk.
Golurk.
I think it looks so cool. I think it just looks so. First of all, Golurk is slept on. It's so whimsical. It gives me again Castle of the Sky vibes. Mm-hmm. Like any Pokemon that makes me think of like a Ghibli movie is ideal. Like it's got that classic golem look, and like you can see it just like thudding through an ancient ruin covered in like having some moss kind of growing on it. Like that would look sick. And shiny Golurk is just rad with the green, like the lime green glow. That's rad.
Nice. All right, let me tell you a funny story about. So, I'm an OG player, but like the only shiny I ever remember, and I'm sure you can remember this, is the red Gyarados, right? We all remember.
Oh yeah, classic. Everybody's first shiny.
Right. But here's the thing. I took a break, right? And I never really shiny hunted as a kid, so I took a break. So the day of launch of Pokemon Legend of Arceus, day of launch, I'm talking to my buddy Tommy on the phone because he bought it day of launch. And he called me and he's like, hey, how far are you in the game? Because we both just got it. You know, we went through the tutorial or whatever, and we're messing around. And I'm walking around the first area. Within the first time you walk around the first area, there's no Pokemon around. There's a yellow Shinx out in the open. This is first day. First within like 30 minutes. I'm like, Tommy, I think my game is broken. He's like, what do you mean your game is broken? I said, dude, there's only one Pokemon around. It's a yellow Shinx. Why is my Shinx yellow? Do I need to restart my game? He yells, no, Devin, that's a shiny. Do not reset it.
Yeah, no! No! Oh, that is so cool. I'm so happy for you. Shiny Shinx, like that entire line, slaps.
Yeah.
And I'm not biased at all towards yellow and black electric types, huh?
Yeah, well, like I said, I didn't know what was going on. I legit, if I wasn't on the phone with him that day, I would have resetted the game because I'm like, dude, my game's broken. This is a weird glitch. Why is it yellow? And he was like, catch it. Use your smoke bombs. Catch it. And I caught it. And I used him for a while. And I did like that because he's so big too. Dude, one thing I like about Legend of Arceus, the alpha Pokemon are huge.
Yeah. Though I guess like some of them it's a little disappointing where like the alpha version of some Pokemon is what like they should be sized normally. If you know what I mean? Like there's some Pokemon that like that's just what it's supposed. Like when I see an alpha Tangrowth, I'm like, that's just what Tangrowth is supposed to.
Yeah, the Tangrowth.
Like, in my heart, that's just what Tangrowth looks like.
Yeah, Tangrowth kind of. I was disappointed in Tangrowth, and I was also disappointed in it's the bug one. It's first of all.
Kricketoo?
Yeah, Kricketoo. Thank you. I'm so bad.
Dele whoop.
See, but they're like.
It's got the best cry in all of Pokemon. Well, it goes dele whoop.
Well, and they're like, here's the alpha, and I'm like, oh, I figured it would be this size, considering it's the evolved form of a little guy. But okay. Well,
Kricketoo like being pretty small makes sense too, because it's a bug.
Oh, and I also like in that game. Oh my goodness, I have to send you a picture of it. I have an alpha Pimplump, and the alpha Pimplump scared the crap out of me the first time I caught it because I just see it was late at night. And I'm in the dark area of the beachside map, and I just see a huge head, like because Pimple already has a big head, like a huge head with glowing red eyes. I'm like, oh my god, what is that thing? And I'm like, oh my god, it's a Pimplump, and I'm like, I gotta catch it. But I like in that game too. Have you found all the 3 starters in that map?
Oh, I have every single Pokemon in the
Oh,
game.
okay, so good. You found him. Okay, so you did find them all.
Yeah.
That's one thing I did like about the game, and I'm wondering how the sequel will be. Because if I can catch all 3 starters from that region, I'll be happy. Because I thought that was so cool that you could find all
Oh
3.
yeah, yeah. I really like that, and I'm sure that they'll keep that in because like those are native to that
Mhm.
region. They'll be in part of that dex, right?
Right. Well, I'm also a fan. I'm a fan of Infernalmon, a fire and fighter. So I'm like, yeah, give me this. But
Mm.
what drove me crazy because I was like,
Infernape?
yeah, Infernape. Sorry, my Pokemon knowledge. I swear, like I can see a Pokemon and point it out, but words are hard today.
It's okay. It's making me look really good.
That's fine.
I'm out for that job, Kyle.
Kyle's gonna be like, what? Kyle, I don't know what happened. Pichu just took over, changed all our passwords. They're in charge now. It's okay. He's gonna go back and listen to this, and he's be like, well, somebody has to correct you while I'm not here. Oh man, but no, I just and you know what I really liked, and this is what made me start Sword and Shield. I wanted the little grass guy. But that little grass guy was hard. You had to have a save file to Sword and Shield to get him. He was in the flower bed. He was in the flower.
Oh, Shaman?
Yeah, Shaman.
Yeah, he's a cutie
Oh,
patootie.
well, he might have been a cutie patootie, but that little cutie patootie was hard to catch. I tell you, dude, you know how many times I had to restart my game? I had to restart my game at least 20 plus times because I would lose him and I would cry. And my wife's like, why are you crying? I'm like, Megan, I bought Sword and Shield, not only to play Sword and Shield, but I wanted this little guy right here. And she's like, oh, yeah, it's a cutie patootie. I said, this little cutie patootie is a pain in the butt. And I'm just like, go ahead.
The mons I had the most trouble with were the Landorus, Thunderous, all the Usses.
I haven't.
The elemental. They're such a pain because you actually have to like chase them around in the world. Like they made those like actually hard to like get into the encounter with them because they would just start causing problems.
I haven't come across them yet, but also I just beat the main game.
They're a later game.
Oh, the later game missions.
Yeah, I think you have to get the full decks before you can get them.
Okay. Well, I'm just like and you know what? What's a really hard Pokemon for me to catch? And this is kind of embarrassing. Abra. I haven't
Yeah.
Like you can't do nothing. And it's like, Abra, don't look at me. And Abra just like you don't move. And Abra's like, oh my god, yeah. I'm leaving. And I'm like, dude. Yeah,
you got to start stealthing from like far away, and you have to be throwing down smoke bombs and crouching and just slowly inching forward. And it's so tricky. But once I finally caught my shiny Abra, I was like, good, done.
Done.
Got that out of the way.
Throw 'em in the...
I'm catching one of every single shiny Pokemon.
Are you?
I've already caught 35% of all Pokemon as shinies.
Nice. It's funny. I want to replay. I have every single. So in Pokemon Scarlet, I have every evolution of Eevee. So I think I wanted. I got them all on my I have the Pokemon Home storage app. So I think what I'm gonna do, whatever Pokemon, I think the new playthrough of any Pokemon game I play, I want to do like a whole Eevee team and see how far I can get.
Oh, that would be fun.
I want to see.
Yeah. So.
But there's some Eevee.
I'm hoping that.
Go ahead. Sorry.
People are thinking that that we're gonna get another evolution soon because fun fact, back in the day when they released Sylveon, they were originally going to release a flying type evolution alongside Sylveon.
Ooh.
But the only reason that they didn't use it was because fans have made so many fan versions of like ideas of what evolutions would look like, but because they've done that for all the types, it makes it very hard for Pokemon to make their own versions without seeming like they copied fans.
Really? Well,
they couldn't figure out how to do an original flying type evolution that wouldn't like look like it's ripping off a fan. But like honestly, they should just pay a fan. Like just admit that your design looks a lot like a certain fan's, and then be like, here you go, fan. Have some dollars, you know?
I'm with you. It's just,
they have infinite money.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, but it's just a lot of things too. See, when I was working on my 4-year degree, I had to study trademark laws and things like that. It's a little tricky, but I agree with you in that sense. It's just a little tricky, and it's just. But I'm with you. If Pokemon wanted to, yes, they could outsource to a creator, but it's just trademark stuff's tricky, and it's just a whole mess.
Yeah. Hopefully they figure it out because people are antsy waiting for more
Oh yeah.
evolutions.
What evolution would you have that hasn't been made yet?
I'd really like Venion, like Venom
Ooh.
Eon, like or Poison is a pretty obvious poison one. There's also the classic of Champion being a fighting type evolution.
Ooh, okay, there you go. I like it.
Mostly I like the pun names, but I would love a ghost type one. I'd love a poison type one. I'd love to see what they do with a bug type one. I think that would be really pretty. Like a very, very fey looking, like fairy, but not fairy type, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like very whimsical.
Well, all right. Well, here's.
Plus an evolution like with little antenna would be so
You think
cute.
it'd be cute? I think it would look like I think it would look like a butterfree.
Ooh. Yeah, with like a butterfly wings?
Yeah.
Oh, so
Lord, somebody out there listening to be like, I'm writing that down. I'm writing that down. All right, there you go. All right. Last question before we have to close out. If you could pick your 6 what would your dream Pokemon team be to take with you on your Pokemon journey?
Oh, that's so tricky because like there's, it's the problem of like what is actually a balanced group and what is actually my faves. Mm-hmm. Okay, I can say for a fact that I would have a Perugly because Perugly makes me think of my kitty cat. Aww. And I love him. So I need to have my baby with me.
Okay.
And I would want to say wheezing because I love James's wheezing, but at the same time, with my lungs, it would probably be a very bad idea for me to have a wheezing. Mm-hmm. I find it very hashtag relatable. I love Tentacruel and I love Palmot and Gyarados. Sorry, there's a Pokemon YouTuber who makes who made a amazing video essay about Pokemon Omega Ruby. Mm-hmm. He's very cool, and he's Scottish, and he pronounces Gyarados, and that's so much cooler, right? Like Gyarados, it's so much better. And I really like. I would want Hisuian Typhlosion and Impidimp. And I really love Rimbombi and I love Azurill. So like any kind of combination, and Clodsire, any combination of those, and I'd be a happy camper. And of course, I'd have to have a Pichu now.
Gotta have a Pichu. Gotta have Pichu on your shoulder. Doesn't want to go in his Pokeball.
Yeah, have a Pichu who's my hat. They could just sit on my head.
Oh gosh, I remember as a kid in Pokemon Yellow when you would have Pikachu with you. I'm like, yeah, and that was one thing. I played Red and Blue, and I was like, where's my Pikachu? I'm like, oh man. And then with Pokemon Yellow, I'm like, yeah, I got my Pikachu. And that's one thing I do like about the newer games. You can have your little psychic come out with you. So I'm like, cool, let's go, guys. So I've always liked that.
Yeah. I hope that they get better at programming it so that they, keep up.
Oh God, better. Yes.
Some of them are just like, I know it's in character for some of them to be slow, but no. It makes it so that it's just unusable where you're just like, come on.
I'm trying to get to this gym.
Or when they're so fast that they're just going way ahead of you and they've just got the zoomies and you're like, okay.
Scarlet, they're the worst. I remember in Scarlet, you have to evolve Parmoa. Yeah, gotta get Palmon, you got 1,000 steps. The Tumbleweed one, you gotta get 1,000 steps. I'm like, guys, come on. Let's go. And Tumbleweed's like, I'm lost.
It's cute in theory, but I think if they manage to program it better in future titles, I think it'll be a great function.
Well, Tumbleweed one made sense, and then Parweed, if I didn't Google it, I watch, I think his name is Pokemon James on YouTube. If I had to watch this because I didn't know for Mankey to evolve to that ghost one. Oh, the Mankey one for that region is so cool. The fighting ghost one.
Annihilate?
Yeah, Annihilate was so cool to me.
I'm an endless stream of Pokemon knowledge and not much else.
That's fine. I'm glad you're here because I butcher names left and right. I can point out and be like Ghost Monkey, Cyndaquil, Fiery Snake. It's okay. And this is, oh gosh. Yeah. Outside of this, I coach for a living and I teach at a middle school this year. And the kids will play emulators. And one of them we're talking about the, it's the legendary. It's the green snake. His shiny just came out. Raikou
is not a snake, so that's not it. Green snake.
He's in space. He's like a.
Rayquaza.
There we go, Rayquaza.
He's like he's a dragon.
Oh, he's a dragon.
Yeah, he's He's based on like Eastern style dragons, like Gyarados is. But he's got little arms. But also, yeah, I guess. But yeah, no, he's a dragon.
I just learned something new today. Oh Lord. Well, okay, yeah, my kids were talking about it. I'm like, yeah, the space snake. No, coach, not the space snake. He's not a space snake, coach. He's right here.
Okay, but driving a bunch of kids mad by calling it a space snake, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna do that.
Trust me, I work with gifted kids, the really smart kids, and they all love Pokemon. And I'm not afraid. Like I remember first part of the school year, because I hate the first day of school because the kids don't know you, you don't know them, and I've always learned in my teaching and coaching career is you build relationships, right? And so I sat there and I'm like, hey guys, I'm Coach Dev. I like anime. I like video games. I know all the original Pokemon. Come at me. And they all lit up. And so like they'll sit there like, Coach, have you played this? And they'll be sitting there playing like Pokemon Red emulator on Game Boy Advance. You know, with the Game Boy Advance emulator. I'm like, dope. And there was one day in class, I'm like, Geodude, Onyx. I'm like, can y'all do the Pokemon rap? And they're like, what? Oh, it was so cringy. I blasted the Pokemon rap in class.
No, that's great. Here's my thing: is that cringe is counterculture. Cringe is the feeling of like of people want to like put things into out groups and put things down because it veers from the norm, right? And cringe sets us free. It makes us a lot more happy as people if we're just not constantly worried about what other people think and how other people judge the things that we like. Like, let people cosplay Homestuck. Let people like be a little silly with it. Let people VTube as a Pichu. Like, cringe is fun. Like, once you let go of the feelings that like make you cringe at yourself and those feelings of cringe and judgment that you put upon other people, once you get past that, the world becomes a better place.
Agreed.
I am cringe, but I am free.
I am cringe, I am free. Gotta put that on a t-shirt later. Oh man. But yeah, Politichu, that's the last question we got for you here is where can the people at home find you?
They can find me I'm on Blue Sky and I'm on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok at Politichu. And I also I did nab if you see if you see Politichu on Twitch, I do have that username there. I haven't started there yet, but that is me. So don't worry about that.
All right, guys. As always, you can come see me on my podcast, the More Sports Podcast, the sports podcast for everybody.
I think you mean my podcast.
Oh,
they're mine.
Sorry,
now.
boss. Boss, I'm sorry. Please don't take away my salary, boss. Please, I need it. Don't take it away.
What salary?
Fair point. No, not my salary. No. I need to collect my Pokemon.
More money for Michu.
See, Kyle's gonna be like, "What happened?" I swear he's gonna see please make that a TikTok later. Be like, "Yeah, I took over this podcast brand." He's gonna be like, "Devin, what did you do?" Dude, I don't know, man. We invited one VTuber and they took over my computer. I don't know. They said, take me on a Pokemon battle. I said, bet. I said, which game? They said, Pokemon Red and Blue. I grabbed my old cartridge and they beat me. I don't know. It happened.
If I could figure out how to do that kind of thing with it's so complicated doing like streaming of stuff off of your Switch and stuff, but I'd love to battle you one day.
God, yeah, you gotta do.
Maybe we could pull up Pokemon Showdown and I could crush you.
Oh gosh, yeah, you gotta do extra steps. I've looked into it. You gotta do extra steps, and I'm like, ugh, extra steps, ugh. But yeah.
Yeah.
But as always, guys, you can come catch me on my podcast, the More Sports Podcast, the sports podcast for everybody. And then also, we've talked about it here at the beginning. We have Popcorn Buckets, where we review a new movie every Sunday. And hey, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Random Incorporated, where you can watch the video versions of all our podcast episodes, where you can see this awesome Pichu model. I mean, aka my new boss. And hey, we're on Twitter. We're on Twitter as Rando Corporate One, and we're on Instagram as Rando Bucket Boys. Politichu, you got any last words before I hit in?
This has been Politichu, and Devin, my lovely worker.
Oh boy.
I can't do finger quotes.
Oh, you get it. Oh, okay. Well, that's it, everybody. Until next time. All right.